be like, I'm an engineer, or I'm an artist. It's like, yeah, I'm the manager. And it was like, I'm the A&R. Everybody be like,
A&R Vic.
oh, so then he started learning that more people heard of it and wanted to be it, but it's such a lost like art, and it was just like a lost like thing in the music business.
Welcome back. This is our last episode for our first season of the Downtime Series. And I got my boy here. Listen, trying to meet up with this man is trying to find El Chapo, because he is like, it's so crazy. But I got the one and only A&R Vic, man. What's going on? Welcome to the Downtime Series. Yes, sir. So we were chit-chatting a long time. We should have been started recording, but we were catching up. It's been a long time.
Definitely.
But I'm gonna just jump right into it. I said the name A&R Vic. That's what I know you by. That's how I met you. I think I met Vic about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago. And he has probably been one of the most solidest dudes that I have known so far, thus far in the entertainment world. And I've been calling all of these people that I've been interviewing, my freshman class, my double XL, everybody on this roster gets 5 mics. I just want y'all to know.
Yes.
This man is full of game. He's put me on to a lot. So we're gonna chop it up with him. And we're just gonna get into the mind of an A&R, the lost talent of the industry, the lost talent of the industry. So before the camera started rolling, we began talking about Of Mics and Men, which of course is the Showtimes. It's on Showtime.
Yeah,
Showtime series that documents the beginning of the Wu-tang Clan. And this man right here,
He's from Park Hill, Staten Island.
He's from Staten Island, New York.
Park Hill.
Yeah,
I'm from Park Hill, man.
So let's just rewind back to the beginning, because I mean, when you think about hip hop, they always talk about the Bronx, you know, Queens, Brooklyn, all of these places, but there was really a nice place across the water who excelled in hip hop. Staten Island, of course. So what was your introduction to like hip hop?
Oh, my introduction to hip hop is crazy. Like, I'm definitely from the crack era.
Oh, okay.
So from the 80s, you know, when you're dealing with a lot of crack in the projects and stuff like that. Came from an era of graffiti.
Wow.
And breakdancing. So my first introduction to hip hop was really like the Fat Boys.
Wow.
Yeah, the Fat Boys and Run DMC.
Okay.
So that was the beginning. When we see LL Cool J. So you had all these guys, right? So my father had turntables in the house. So he had he had a lot of records. So watching all these things going on, I took a record, DJ my sister's birthday party. So Rob Bass, It Takes Two was the hottest song at that time. So DJ kept playing it, everybody jumping around. So it's like, I fell in love with music then, but secretly, it was always like embedded in me. My mom used to sit me in front of the radio every day while she cleaned, cooked, and everything, and just leave me there. She said I wouldn't move. I would just listen to music, dance, chill. So it was like, music was just something I always liked. But hip hop was just different. Like my brother was into it, and I was into it. So he was in the living room dancing, break dancing. So I was just always into it.
I know if you still got some of them moves. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I pass it to you,
me and my little brother won a dance contest. Nobody wants to know that this is hidden information. But back in the like late 80s, it was a dance contest at a birthday party. And me and my little brother had this routine that we always practiced at the house. So we did it at the party, so we won. But because he was younger, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, you older, have the young kid with you, y'all doing this. So they're like, oh, yeah. So we got money off of it, and then we, first introduction to haters.
Dang, that's a drop right there.
Yeah, first introduction to haters, boy. Let me tell you.
They was hating off y'all styles,
what?
man.
As soon as we get outside of the apartment, man, me and this dude was about to wreck. Hating. Salty, yeah, salty.
I wonder
because we won.
Was the cadence like, say Jack? Like, was it like that?
Nah, it was still yo. It was like, yo, son. It was still like, yo, son. It was like, yo.
I'm sorry. I just, like, say Jack. The moves is whack. I got that's just what I think of.
Nah, it was like, in Park Hill, to describe it, like, briefly, at the time, it was a bunch of Africans that just came in. Really, Park Hill used to be a place where like a lot of white people used to live, and then they started moving out, and they introduced housing.
Oh, okay.
So they turned it into public housing. So then a lot of Africans, a lot of Jamaicans, different ethnicity came through and just ripped the place apart. And I don't want to say they did that on purpose or being the mentality of like, because it's low income. Yeah. It's like there was a lot going on. Introduction of drugs, so you have crack going on. You have people just trying to survive in New York around that time frame. A lot of violence going on. You had different mobs, different gangs. You had all these things going on. New York always been like a violent state. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Park Hill, Staten Island is no different. Yeah. It's a borough, it's an island. Yeah. It's like you have to cross the bridge to get over there or take the ferry. So most of the people that lived in Staten Island was very good people at the end of the day, but you had a lot of criminals hiding out because that's the place where nobody really checked on. So all these things going on there, and you see all that stuff, and it's just like, you have all these Africans in there. You're like, okay, cool. You don't know how Jamaican people live. They move in. Yeah. So they got a whole different vibe. Wow. So you're trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Together, but the grocery store you go into is run by Spanish people. God damn. So you go into the Spanish store and you're like, you trying to like learn their lingo and how they talk. So a lot of times we walk in the store, we like, mira. We doing all these crazy stuff. Like, and it was fun. I mean, for a kid, it was for me, it was fun. It turned out to be fun to me. I always loved it, but it was a very dangerous place. Yeah. And it's like how people look at Berry Farms. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? It's really how people, when you hear it's really how people look at it. Staten Island is like, and especially Park Hill, Stapleton, West Brighton, New Brighton, the Harbor. There's different projects out there, Port Richmond. Those places was all berry farms. Yeah. So they was all over the island. It's like you had multiple berry farms all over Staten Island. Nah, that ain't it. You see what I'm saying? That it's like you had multiple berry farms. So as a child, it's like you got all this going on. Wow. But music is keeping you sane in the process. Yeah. So even the introduction of Wu-tang, it's like all these members were from different parts of the island. And like 3 of them are from Brooklyn. Yeah. And it's like, for all the things they was going through to come together because of music and become so popular, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of talent in Staten Island. Right. People just know Wu-Tang. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was King Just, you had Shaheem, you know what I mean? Little Shaheem that was part of Wu-Tang. You had a lot of different artists out there. There's still more artists out there that's doing this thing. Holy Mo. He's dope. He's very dope. That's out in Staten Island. These guys are like very talented. Yeah. But people know Wu-Tang more because it had global.
Yeah, global impact.
They have a very global impact. Yeah. They took what we watch every Sunday. Yeah. Started at 12 o'clock. kung fu movies came on.
Right.
In the projects. You turn on your little tube. We had the old school with the UHF.
Woo.
So it's like the top gel. So it's like, yeah, I'm showing my age right now. But like,
because let me tell you, I had a color TV with a remote, y'all.
Nah. Yeah. And I was part of the era when the introduction of cable TV too. So it was like, it's like crazy in the project. Or it was like, yo, we about to put cable TV in the projects, and they had to do the whole thing. And it was like, yo, now we getting to witness like MTV with all these music. But we knew Michael Jackson, like, you know, listening and watching Thriller. We had cassette tapes. I didn't have the old school, the 8-track Jones. I never had that. I never even like seen it up in front for real. But we had turntables, cassettes, decks, like the boombox.
Yeah.
Where you can record off the radio and stuff. So I was just interested.
What was it? Record and play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so interested in those things. Like even on the technical side.
Right.
It's like, why are these people just like scratching this way or doing this? Like, what makes it play the music back to you?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know at the end of the day. So, you know, at the end of the day, with Staten Island, like, it's a beautiful place. They definitely building it up now even more.
Right.
Still has its projects. It's still gonna have its projects.
Still thorough.
But the music, seeing Wu-Tang start there, being able to see, like, just witnessing it before I left, like, carried on to when I came to Maryland.
Yeah.
But then Maryland gave me something totally different.
Right.
Which was crazy.
What did it give you?
Maryland gave me the introduction to live music.
Okay, and are we talking about something specific?
Yeah, so my introduction to go-go was like crazy. I'm leaving New York, Wu-Tang coming out. They preparing their rollout, but this still was like, you're talking about MC Hammer.
Oh.
Like
one dancing ass nigga.
You're talking about, this is like, that's what I'm saying. I've seen so much transition in hip hop.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Kid and Play, all these people. You got all these dance, like,
I don't want to say like bubbly hip hop, but like bubbly hip hop to some real thorough like.
But I mean, but even if you think about Big Daddy Kane, Big Daddy Kane is a thorough dude. He
smooth,
just had
dude.
Smooth like that. Like one of my favorite like hip hop artists. But it was like, he understood entertaining. Yeah. So it was just like you're seeing those guys. Yeah. And the introduction to like, I guess, gangster rap in a way or stuff like that with NWA and all this stuff. But it was like, no, there's no whole other sound of black music. It is. That you don't hear, you didn't hear it nowhere else. We just heard hip hop and then whatever the pop stuff was going on the radio. And then for me, being African, it was just like whatever our parents was playing at the time. Yeah. So then, you know, to step in to go-go. Yeah. It was like, what is that? It's like, what is that?
Banging on the drums and the pots and pans and all of that.
Now, I'll never forget this. And if this guy ever gets this, you know, if he ever runs into anything and sees my face and talking about it, this is guy named Frank. Right. I was in middle school. I came out here in 92. Okay. I was in middle school, I was at the bus stop. He was like, yo, you're not from here. He was looking at my clothes. I had them cross colors and stuff. So he was like, yo, where you from? I was like, from New York. It's like, yo, who you listen to? I was like, well, you know, there's this group coming out of Staten Island called Wu-Tang. They real dope. I like Big Daddy Kane, LL, stuff like that. He was like, yo, you ever heard of Junkyard Band? I was like, huh? What? He was like, yeah, got this thing like called go-go out here. So I was like, cool. Now they have their own lingo. Yeah. So he was like, hey, young. So it was like, he had this whole thing going on. I was like, but he looked like he was from DC. So the crazy part is I came to DC first. Right. I used to live in off of New York Ave, Tyler House Apartments. It's by Surson Quarters. So we stayed there for a while and then we moved into Hyattsville. Mm-hmm. So when I was in Hyattsville, that's what happened pretty much. So when he introduced me to it, I'm listening to it. I was like, damn, what is this? He played Rough It Off for me. Ooh. So that was my first song. So I was like, Rough It Off, rough it off. I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, why is this just so aggressive? But I was like, ooh. And it was like, and he had the little dance, so he was going like this when he was doing his dance. I was like, wait, they don't do this in New York. Like,
not at all.
You know, so ran back to New York. The minute we went back to New York, I was like, yo, they got this crazy music in where I'm at. It's called Go-Go. And it sounds so weird. Like, check it out. But it was like...
Niggas was probably like...
It was like, what?
What is this?
It's like, nah, we can't get that. Now we're emerging like, you know, in the 90s coming off. And then it's like Biggie them starting to come around.
Okay.
So it's like, when they came down from New York to hear this, they was like, nah, this ain't it. But I was like, yo, no, trust me. Every time they came back, I kept saying, trust me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, y'all gotta go to the parties and see how they act at the parties. I'm telling you, it's like, yo, there's a bunch of girls we at these. Yo, I'm going to New York parties and I'm like, yo, it's a whole bunch of people from the projects in the building. I mean, as kids.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, we just turning up having a good time. But it's like, we're listening to reggae music at that point now. You know, the African group, we're listening to reggae music. Still listening to hip hop, but like a lot of the parties, it was like to get the party really going, playing that reggae or whatever the hot hip hop track was, or R&B was cool.
Right.
But Maryland, it was like whatever date of the go-go event.
That was a big deal.
Was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
It was like, yo, do you have this BYB from 924, 94, something like that at the Met or something crazy, or at the Black Hole. So for me, that was a crazy eye opener.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in middle school, going into high school, I was like, yo, I gotta go where that at. I don't want to be in the band. I gotta see it live. Just see it. It's like, I like it. So friends started showing me where to go at for these parties.
Where to go?
I went to every go-go spot you could think of. Like that had it. You know, like every Friday we was at the Icebox. No, every Saturday, excuse me, at the Icebox.
Right.
Partying to Northeast Groovers.
Wow.
You know, we had a whole thing, like Groovers was my band, so it was like New York and around the world didn't really understand like why are these people this music.
Yeah.
They don't understand that part of the music.
Yeah.
So it was just different. It was like, yo, because where we from is nobody would like, when you see nobody playing drums outside of the project, when you see nobody with a saxophone.
Not just regular drums, but buckets.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
at first it started off with buckets. So the thing is, I didn't catch it in a bucket form.
Okay.
I caught it where like, really it was drums.
Yeah.
And it was like, but we had nobody, like, again, being in the project, I didn't know nobody who played the piano.
Yeah.
The first time I seen someone playing the saxophone was, it was a white dude in Catholic school. So it was like, you know what I mean? It was like, so he was playing the Pee Wee Herman joint on the saxophone.
Oh, no.
So it was
that
just
ain't
like,
it.
right. So it was just like, it was like, yo, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, me and music has always been like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when I heard the sound, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was no mistake why I ended up in A&R.
I'm seeing now that thank you, push through with the next question, because I was most definitely about to be like, is that how it is with you with A&R? And like, if you hear somebody spit or somebody sing or whatever it is, are you like, what is that? And what's the next moment after that?
I mean, if you speed up the time even for that, like me with go-go music, hearing that and being like, it'd be like, yo, what band is that?
Yeah.
Where is that coming from? What's that sound? Yo, they put it in the pocket real hard. Yo, he killing it. Yo, this band on the roll tones, killing it. He doing this. Yo, you'd be like, all right, but that's just go-go band. They doing other people covers and stuff like that, music. Yeah. I was like, that's dope and all. But I was like, who's another band? Because it's like, yo, if I only know one band, it was like, is there another band?
Yeah.
Is there another one? Yeah. You know, is there a different one? Then you find out there was multiple people doing it. But even in between that time, I'm still listening to hip hop.
Right.
Because like the New York in me, that's not going nowhere. So it's just like, I'm listening to the hip hop and I'm like, all right, Biggie's coming out. Okay, Junior Mafia is coming out.
Right.
Like these different groups is coming out. Um, you know, then we're looking for undiscovered talent because it's like we're not looking at all the people that made it to TV. It's like who's the next them or who's coming. So I just started listening for like all different kinds of music.
Right.
So then next thing you know, mixtapes.
Oh.
With the introduction of mixtapes.
This man's giving y'all the whole playbook right now. This is a play-by-play.
Yeah, I mean the introduction when mixtapes started coming around.
Right.
It was like we in the streets.
Yeah.
Yo, who got this mixtape? Who got that mix? I mean with DJ Clue, P Cutter on this side in DC. You had like different guys doing mixtapes on the street. People just every corner you go.
Yeah.
Some guy walk up to you, I got this new mixtape, we got this. We looking at all the covers.
Yeah.
We listen like, yo, who we don't recognize on here? That's the one we want.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they had like, you knew what Jay-Z was about to push or Cameron or anybody else.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It was like, we're just looking. Or if the artist that was about to get signed was coming in the area when we was in DC.
Right.
So like when 50 Cent first started. So it's like the first time I ever seen 50 Cent perform was at this club called the Ritz during Howard Homecoming.
Wow.
And that's when he performed in the club.
Really?
So yeah, first I'm in there, 50 Cent on stage rocking. I'm like this the whole time looking at this person like, he rapping, looking at me like, and it was like, you know, cause being from New York, it was like he looking around the room, this packed room. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
And I heard this song, I was like, yo, that's about to be a hit.
Yeah.
First time you could find me in the club. He was like, dude, he was like killing it. I was like, yo, who's this dude on stage with a bulletproof vest on?
Wow.
Do-rag from New York, killing it. Around the corner, Fat Joe at the other club.
Damn.
And then Dipset was in town, so that's when Cameron he shot the video for Old Boy.
Wow.
He was doing it at Love Nightclub, or they used to call it Dream. So all this is going on yeah, so all of this is going on in DC.
Right.
So it's like, yo, New York artists is in DC. So I was like, oh shoot, I don't have to go to New York.
Yeah.
It was like they come to DC. So I was like, all right, stick around here. I got. Because sometimes going to New York clubs is hectic, so it's just like...
Sometimes hectic.
You know,
niggas is ready.
so sometimes, you know, eventually the mindset changed. But, you know, but even going to DC clubs was hectic. So it's just like, but knowing that these guys came out here, because we didn't know how these artists traveled for real. We didn't know they was performing other places.
You just thought it was all...
It was always tied to music some way, somehow. So it was just like, just me wanting to be around music as a fan is what brought me. And it was like I said, it was no like coincidence that somehow I never had it in me that I was going to do music.
Wow.
There was nothing in me that said I was going to be in a band. There was nothing in me that said I was going to be a rapper. Even in college. It was down in North Carolina. Like, I was out there when
you went to A&T?
Nah, I went to this school called Barber Scotia College. That's by North Carolina University. Okay. Charlotte. They got a Charlotte situation. And Johnson C. Smith, that's in that area. Salisbury. So they had there was a kid called Drum. This is when I went to North Carolina. That was so many different experiences. Yeah. Now I'm down in the South. I'm in the South. I'm in North Carolina, just like randomly. This is like
randomly.
Like I went there 2000, so summer 2001, before I turned 21. Okay. So I'm down there. So I got all this hip hop thing going on. So I'm still stuck with hip hop. Get the introduction to go-go. So it's like cool. Never was paying attention to South music. Didn't know what that was.
You ain't hear what Andre 3000 said? The South got something to say.
Nah, they do. But, like, our introduction to them was when Master P and...
No Limit Soldier?
Yeah, when No Limit came out and Lil Wayne and Cash Money. Their covers.
Wow.
So the introduction was the covers, because they used to do these bling out covers.
Yeah.
So that was my Heard song. Yeah.
Album art. Gotcha.
The artwork. So I was like, well, who are these guys with these? I was like, this is kind of hard.
The chain, the glasses, all
and
that.
And then you get introduced to Scarface.
Right.
Like, so all these, like, Outkast. So it's like, all right, Bun B and them. All right. As soon as I get down south. And you got P. Pablo. You had drum. This is when the Yin Yang Twins first started coming out. I met Little John out there.
Wow.
So it was just like, yo, there's like New Atlanta starting to emerge.
Right.
That was right before New Atlanta started taking off. Right around the time Ludacris and all of them was coming out. So I was like, yo, these guys are dope too.
Wow.
And they doing it on a different kind of like, this ain't boom
That's
bap.
a high intensity.
Yeah, this ain't boom bap.
booming.
Yeah, and they party different.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I always thought I was gonna end up being like a club promoter or something, because we was throwing parties when I was in high school and stuff. So it was just like hip hop, boom bap, go, like what they saying is bucket music, down south, heavy, dark, bass.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ooh, or high driven.
Yeah.
Like they turned up aggressive, and then you go out to Detroit, and then it's like, even in Maryland too, in Baltimore, they had house party music in
Right.
Philly, so you get these different. So it was like I'm catching all these, and I still love Motown.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, I had that already in me as well. So it's
Right.
just like, dang, I know all these good music.
So it's kind of like a New York, like they call it the melting pot. And it seems like your musical experience was a big ass melting pot because you got everything.
I was getting wind of
Everything. I want you to break down for people out there watching this what exactly an A&R is, because people just think, oh, you scout talent and then that's it.
I mean,
but
there's many forms of A&Rs.
right.
Like, back in the day, the A&R was responsible for the development of the artist.
Right.
So it was pretty much artist development at the end of the day. But he was more so the guy with all the connections and knew what was going on, what's hot, who's doing what, where the hot spot at, who you need to talk to. And it really helped the labels move the music for real. Because think about it. You have Def Jam, you have these artists, and y'all don't know where it needs to go.
Right.
Who knows where it needs to go?
The A&R.
What DJ we supposed to hand it to? You're not in the clubs. Who's the hottest DJ? You can hear one name, but he not at every club. He only in one club. So there's another him somewhere else.
Right.
Well, who's that person? You know what I mean? Most of the time, how can you skip the line with some of the process? It was like, yo, we ain't gotta go talk to the radio program director and all this stuff to play the music, and we cool with the DJ and we slide it to him. I got a relationship, he don't mind playing it during the mix or something like that. It was just like, it's just like the A&R was the cool guy. Right. You know what I mean? On top of developing the artist. Along the line, because how music transitioned,
right,
especially social media, kind of like the growth of social media and those platforms of self and independent, it was like the DJ wanted to be the A&R, the managers wanted to be in the A&R, some of the artists wanted to be an A&R at the end of the day. If you think about it, when they start their own label and they want other artists on there and they go in different places and artists are coming to them trying to get on, it was like, yo, I was chilling on the block after a show and this kid came up and started rapping to me. Yo, he hot. Yeah. Yo, let's create a label and sign him to our label. It was like you technically doing the A&R work at the end of the day. Like,
that just made me think of Mike Bivins with Boys to Men. Like that's exactly
what he was doing. He understood the business. He would go around. He knew different places. I mean, he was always a businessman outside of music. Yeah. So he was like, yo, I'm putting on these groups. I got Boys to Men. I got ABC. Yeah. Then he's doing this thing with BDD. You know what I mean? It's just like he just knew. Like, you know, Jermaine Dupri is another one. Jermaine Dupri always knew how to, you know, work with certain artists, get them, how they build their career, and how they take it. So it's like, yo, why am I dealing with a label? I'm only dealing with the label because they got the big bread and they got different doors. But if I'm collecting on the relationship, if I'm out there, I'm hanging in the club at this party because I'm cool with this people and they inviting me to this people, and I talk to them and I'm emailing them and stuff like that. It's like, yo, I got a new talent. At the end of the day, I got to deliver.
That too.
That's the thing. It's because you don't never want to work with somebody who's gonna burn your bridge. Facts. You know what I mean? You work with an artist and he hard-headed, or a producer who's hard-headed, and you're telling somebody like, yo, I got this hot artist or whatever, and he's just disrespectful. He don't understand the business, but that's part of the job of training the artist if you're doing artist development. You know what I mean? But artist development was limited to me. Like,
why is that?
Or A&R is limited because they never taught the people the business.
Okay.
It's like a lot of it was to me, it's from a creative standpoint. It was like,
that makes sense.
Yo, how you need to be as an artist, how you need to talk in your interviews, where you need to go, you know,
but
places
you know
you need
what?
to be.
I feel like there was a blueprint, but I don't think that blueprint transitioned. And what I say by that, because you know my aspirations to follow in your footsteps. But I think about like the Berry Gordys or the Smokey Robinsons, like they were the blueprint of how an artist should act.
Nah, but see, even with Smokey Robinson, right?
Right.
He's my favorite artist on that side.
Yeah.
So Smokey Robinson is a hell of a songwriter.
Yeah.
Outside of a hell of an artist.
Yeah.
But he understood the business enough to know that how I can make money in this. Mm-hmm. I'm writing a song for all these artists.
Right.
This guy has all this talent that don't write music.
Right.
And I can write music and create hits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting all this bread. Mm-hmm. They don't write the music. They ain't collect no royalties. They ain't writing nothing.
Sheesh.
They just perform. They collect a performance royalty, but they're not collecting any other royalty outside of that. I'm the songwriter. I'm collecting the royalty. Every time they produce these records, I'm collecting mechanical royalties. Anytime they license this, I'm getting a royalty off of that. Sheesh. The only thing the artist is really getting is for performing on stage. You're performing my work on stage. It don't even belong to you. This company can sell it to somebody else and give it to somebody else. Wow. If somebody else wants to sample it, if somebody else want to do a cover of this song, they just gotta fill out a mechanical royalties and you can sing a cover of my song.
Wow.
I wrote this song though. If I own my own publishing, that's even a plus. So a lot of the artists the A&R job is not, it was there to teach you. They present it to you, they tell you, but this was the part I was talking about. The business part is not my job to teach you the business. If you're not, we put contracts and paperwork in front of you. Yeah, you may get a lawyer, he'll say, hey, this is a good deal, this is not a good deal. But you ain't reading every word line by line.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You ain't understanding that, you know, for every line you're reading or every paragraph you read in a contract, it goes back to the first original line or paragraph of a contract.
Wow.
So you don't even know what's going on in your contract. You see what I'm saying? You don't know how you're supposed to get paid. You don't care. Because
you just want to sign a contract.
You just want to be the star.
Yeah.
You want to be out there. So, you know, the thing with A&R now is now you have a whole lane of independent artists because music changed. You can still A&R people, but these guys don't really know the business. I got a whole bunch of following. I got 200,000 following, 1 million following, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I stream all this work. It's like you don't even know how you're supposed to make your bread off of that, right?
Because you barely get paid shit from it.
But in all honesty, right? This is all free advice. I'm about to give y'all some free, so it's like
gym time.
Yeah, this is all like free stuff. Like, I mean, because technically you can go read it, but people don't do that. You can Google search it, but people don't understand what they Google searching.
Right.
The process of making music. Really, when you start in a recording studio, a lot of people don't even do that. Yeah. When you start in a recording studio, like, you shouldn't. First of all, you should never let people give you free studio time.
Okay.
You open a floodgate for that. That's a different floodgate that artists don't. It don't rarely technically happen to the artist, but it can, because a lot of time artists don't understand about master sound recording. Owning your master sound recording at the end of the day. 2 sides of music: composition, master sound recording.
Okay.
With the song. So composition side is all your songwriters. Master recording side is who paid for the recording of the music. who owns the actual master. Most of the time, it's supposed to be the artist, right? So this is why the label wants your masters. They're paying for all your
studio time,
all your marketing, your promotion, and all that stuff. So the original sound recording of you recording that record, your session, is what they want. So if you go in the studio, somebody give you free studio time and stuff like that. The owner's taking the expense. At the end of the day, the owner owns. He's like, look, I donated. You know, I'm taking the hit. The lights, all this stuff, the engineer that's being used, all this stuff. It's like, so technically, I should be owning the sound recording. Most of the time, that's why when industry artists, when I dealt in the studio, industry artists come to the studio. You know what I mean? Artists, let me say, artists that signed to major labels come to the studio. Once they leave the studio, they delete everything off of the computer.
Wow.
They put it on their hard drive. They delete everything. Because what the studio gonna do? What the engineer gonna do? I was in the studio working with so and so last night. Yo, check out what we was doing. They playing. Your recording that's not even done yet.
Wow.
So that's like the first step of it. So obviously you go through your recording, you know. So if you understand that part, the other part is when you get in we'll say from a hip hop standpoint, or even when you work like R&B artists who don't write their music and stuff like that, and dealing with producers. You have a beat from a producer.
Right.
Producer produced something instrumental or whatever. Most of them don't even know the business part to that side. You know, and sometimes producers don't know the business part to that side. So a lot of the time you want to make sure that's straight.
Yeah.
Because you have to know what you're getting up front. Is this beat non-exclusive to me, or is this exclusive to me? There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to actually talk to the producer in the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he owns a piece of the composition that you're creating. On the composition side, when you do your split sheets and all that stuff, it's like the producer is always going to be on there.
Right.
You ain't, unless you produce the music yourself, the instrumental yourself. So a lot of times people don't even know. They just come in the studio, they record on the track, and they think just throw it out there. You make a lot of money with that record. Producer come out of nowhere and was like, you was only supposed to sell 2,000 copies of these. When you brought it in the lease agreement, if you purchased it online or stuff like that, if you talk to me, you was only supposed to do this. Or some people don't even have that conversation. Or some people be like, yeah, I'll give it to you for $50. You can do whatever you want. Y'all don't have that conversation if it belongs or don't belong. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you don't have that conversation, you know, that draws a big negativity like situation in there.
Right.
So when you're leaving that situation, right? So you record, you get it mixed and mastered, you're ready to release the music. You gotta make sure your paperwork is done.
Right.
What I learned in the last 9 years, artists barely register their music.
I think, wasn't that part of the conversation we had?
Yeah, artists barely register music.
Right.
Artists, everybody think registering music is just putting it on BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC, whatever their writing organization is, you know. What all those people really do is collect money from if your music get played on the radio, on TV, or if you perform live.
Okay. That's it.
That's all they do. That's really all they do. So a lot of artists don't even do that step. So nobody goes in and put in who's all listed on the song. This is a composition piece.
Right.
Who's all on the song? Who percentage is who? Who's publishing is who? At the end of the day, a lot of times you don't have publishing. You could be you can be your own publisher, but you can set up your own publishing.
Right.
At the end of the day, they don't even do that piece. So now your music gets you throwing up on. You use TuneCore, you use CD Baby, DistroKid, all these companies out there to distribute your music, right? They give you your 99 cent, your $9.99. They give you your digital sales.
Yeah.
That's your digital sales money. And within digital sales money of the whole entire record, you still owe some people if you didn't pay them, right? So, but everybody is happy with getting the digital sale.
Right.
Producer don't come out and be like, where's my money?
Right.
He don't care. He like, oh, they selling. He sees it doing good, or if it's not doing good, he don't even care. He's just happy that it went out, right? He don't understand that when it goes out on these platforms like TuneCore, CD Baby, it's really reproduction.
What you mean by that?
Every time it goes to iTunes or whatever, they reproducing your music. So it's like,
really?
it's like read this, because every time you press play, every time somebody using it, it's a system, right? Every time somebody press play, it's like, hey, I hand you, it's like the jukebox machine. You push play, the record comes back up, you play it for the person they happy. When I'm done, I put it back in the whatchamacallit. Ain't you supposed to get paid for every time that record
Gets played.
Right. So they keep a calculation, right?
Right.
That's mechanical royalties. So at the end of the day. So, but BMI or ASCAP, I know those people give you that money. So where do you go?
That was step number one you talked about. But keep going.
But where do you go?
Right.
Because where do you go to get that bread? Because TuneCore and them have things set up to give you that money. But at the end of the day, their job is to give you the money for every time somebody purchase your music. You see what I'm saying? Every time somebody, when you accumulate a certain amount that equals a sale, then they'll give you that money. So that's all they posted. But every time somebody posts a play, you're still supposed to get another side to that money as well.
Right.
And your publishing company is supposed to get another piece, because that's the other piece of music.
Right.
Nobody knows how to go collect that money. So nobody knows that as a publishing company, you're supposed to set up a Harry Fox music report, because that deals with publishing. And if I want to license the music and get a mechanical, where somebody wants to use my music or sample, that's where they can go and obtain the mechanical license for it.
Wow.
With Harry Fox. So it's like, there's so much. It's a formula.
Yeah.
There's so much, because there's different around the country too. What happens when iTunes go to iTunes Europe, iTunes Australia?
Wow.
When they distribute, all these places have different rules on how they distribute your music and how you're supposed to collect your money in your music. So then you're supposed to have, something set up, somebody who knows how to do administration or something in that way with publishing, to how to get your money overseas.
Right.
Because how do you get the money that belongs to you overseas? Nobody really knows. Nobody really asks it.
You blowing my mind with this information.
There's so much. And that leads me, to what I've been doing. A lot of stuff that I've been doing is working with the artists, producers. Step one is go get your money. You worked for it, go get your money.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, it's like somebody need to show you. Because for me, the biggest thing in this, especially in this area, if the people know the music business well, more artists will go out the door faster. The people in the industry would rather work with somebody who understands the business. Because I'm not going to take a complete idiot. And I always say there's no disrespect to Nas. This is like back in the day.
Right.
There's a Jay-Z and there's a Nas.
You right.
At the end of the day, like, think of Jay-Z in his early music career when he started, and Nas at his early career when he started. Jay-Z understood the business.
Right.
Not to say I don't know Nas, so maybe he did know some of the business.
Right.
But a lot of their new movements show they know business.
Yeah.
Wu-tang is another example of that. A lot of it showed that they understood the business.
Right.
They was merchandising their own stuff. Like, how do we get this? And to the point that they got it in Macy's.
Yeah.
As an artist, who was the first label, like, hip-hop group to then have stuff in Macy's? Or just even distributing shirts and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So you're making all these millions. What they say, they made like 25 mil? Back then, now that's a lot more.
Yeah.
But back then, that was a killer.
Yeah.
You're making music. You're selling shirts, all these merch. You know what I mean? You have your own clothing line.
Right.
It's the beginning of your own clothing line. Then Jay-Z did it. He gets his own clothing line. He get Rockaway. You see what I'm saying? There's so many.
Bring back the X.Dot
That's what I'm saying. When you're thinking about
comfortable
with the art, who understand business, it was like, yo, we out here. You know, we're going everywhere. We got to be recognized. We're a brand.
Right. So, do you think that an A&R needs to not only be able to manage an artist, you know, be able to hear the talent, but they really have to understand the business for the best benefit of
I feel like
the artist?
Yeah, I mean, you should, depending on what's your goal with the artist. 10% talent or 20% talent, 80% business.
Wow.
So it's like...
That's a gem, y'all.
It is.
20% talent, 80% business.
So it's like you can have all the talent in the world, but let's be honest, like 9.5 out of 10 times, that person ain't no Michael Jackson, they ain't no Lady Gaga, they ain't no Beyonce, they're not no Jay-Z or Eminem. So they're not like your top bracket of the next wave anyway. They just have a talent, like they have a remarkable voice. Right. They sing better than me. Right. So it's like, oh, you sing better than me. Wow. It's pleasant to my ears. Because at the end of the day, with his music, it's just something that for most people, like. It's just you like. It's a sound that you like at the end of the day that you feel is pleasant to your ears. Right. Or it controls the way how you feel, you know, or think or whatever. So it's like, a lot of the people that you run to that you think is going to be good may not be good for the business. Right. They may just be good for the sound. Right. You see what I'm saying? I follow. So it's like, if you're going to take on somebody, you have to make sure that they're both good for the business and good for as an artist. Because you can have a great you can have an artist who's good at business but terrible at being an artist. Wow. You can have an artist that's good as being an artist, as great as being an artist, but terrible in business at the end of the day. So it's like, yes, you can replace different things to make it work. Right. But for you as an A&R, like for whatever your job is going to be at that time, does it make sense for you? So I got a great talent. I put her with all these hot producers and stuff like that. But business-wise, is people going to be open to the way she look, to the way she talks? Follow. You see what I'm saying? To the way she even dresses, you know, or he, at the end of the day, or a group. Yeah. Like, I mean, you've seen it in a lot of groups at the end of the day. You pick a group, then there's always that one person in the group that everybody loves. Yeah. And they forget about everybody else in the group. Damn. It's the Destiny's Child. It was like they all could sing. Yeah. But who stood out the most? My girl. The most person that wanted to stood out. But as you see now, when you looked at it, overall, who understood the business more than anybody? That girl B. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you had all these like women in the group. Each one of them sung different. Yeah. You know, obviously, she stood out, singing wise, pleasant for the ear. Yeah. So from the talent standpoint, it was like, okay, that's good. But if she stood out, why was she ever in a group in the first place? There was something that was missing. It was like, look, maybe it would be more better for her to be in a group for the time while we get her to understand the business. Wow. Or something else. But remember, it's her dad running the job. Yeah. So it's like, look, I don't want her to go out right now as I will put a group, girls from Houston. Cool, it looks better as a group of girls, right? Right. Go out. Out of that group, even when the remaining 3 stand, who understood the business. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you walk around. Now Kelly, you know, I love Kelly. Now she's doing stuff that's like, business-wise, it's like, it's cool. Yeah. But that's in any side. That's on the hip-hop side. That's like a lot of these guys, like back in the days. You see the LL Cool J's. Right. You see the Ice-T's. Yeah. Like, you know, standing. They still standing. The Busta Rhymes. Like, there's like the guy who just understood the business. The business, and how it worked. Yeah. It's like, I have all this talent. I'm the product. Right. I have all this talent. The one thing I'm good at, how do I move it around from a business standpoint? because it's still marketing, it's still branding yourself, it's still moving around and doing your thing. So if I'm an A&R, I'm just like, I have to find both. It's like I gotta understand what I'm dealing with, talent and business.
Wow.
Now, if I'm invested in the talent side, and that person does good in that side, then it's like, I want to see it progress further, and I want to be like, yo, I want this person to be like a big impact in the music business. Then it's like, yo, I gotta teach the person the business.
Yeah.
Because when I'm not around, it happens everywhere. People come out of woodworks left and right in your ear. Why you over there? They cheating you out of your money. You know, if you can come with me, we can do better things. We can do it. But I'm telling you that. But do you understand what I'm really telling you?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, because you come with me doesn't mean it's going to really work.
And when the words of Suge Knight, if you don't want people dancing in front of your videos, like, come to Death Row.
But even that, it was like, even that when we first heard that, like from that era.
Yeah.
When I first heard that, I was like, shout out to Puff. But for the people, from a business standpoint, that was like, yo, Puff is learning the business. I'm the man, like, yo, I'm behind the scenes. He was an A&R at that time, and he's like managing now, doing this label thing. Like, for me to understand it, I have to be there. I have to know how the stage works. I have to know how it works off the stage. So yeah, if I'm gonna be the hype man, or I'm getting the crowd hype and stuff, and that's what I gotta do, because I have the best interest for the business that I'm. Because a lot of time in this business, people have the best interest for themselves and their business.
Wow. This man's
From a business standpoint. From a business standpoint.
Right.
You know, and that's what the term is. It's not personal, it's just business.
Right.
Because a lot of times, that's the sub part of the business is, to me, it's personal. The relationship I have with you is going to be personal. When I meet you, and even when I do business with you, it's like, I don't want to mess up our business.
Right.
If I mess it up, it becomes personal to you. It's like, dang, he messed me up. Well, you wouldn't turn around and say, oh, well, it just happens, it's business. No, I'm pissed as an individual. I'm mad, right?
Right.
Cool. But because you don't understand the business, you walk away and say, oh, it's just business. This was supposed to happen to me.
Wow.
No, it's not what's supposed to happen to you if you understand it. You'll know your value in yourself. So a lot of times people have families, people have certain situations. So they're going to do what's best for them and what's best for their business. But with every business situation, it all starts the same. Everybody always starts off saying we in a business. Even if the guy who owns the business will say, yo, this is what we can do for you.
Right.
We have all these things here and we can take you to the next level. The minute you complain about something, I did all this stuff for you. And that's it.
Yeah.
The relationship gets ruined. It becomes personal. What do you mean you did this? You did that. I didn't provide nothing in this situation. Me being here didn't do anything. Oh, I see how you looked at me. You didn't really value me enough.
Wow.
I was for the best interest for you.
Wow.
That it does not work no more.
Yeah.
It happened a lot. I mean, it happened to me.
Yeah.
It happened to me in my situation. I'm sitting here like, okay, it's all for the team. It's all for us. We're working together as a team. People literally saying that the minute everybody switches, everybody has another game plan, or they have something, the minute something, man, they start trying to make you feel like you're the reason why it's not working.
You just hit us with a Bama?
Yeah. And
so
we're in Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in
So
Maryland.
DC.
Yeah. Maryland's really like changed their mindset to be like, they convince in their head, they be like, you're part of the reason this ain't working out. Or I need to do something else, but if I know I'm telling I have to switch, he got perfect morals and common sense to say, you're not supposed to do this, so how do I get him out of this situation? So I can do what I want to do.
Wow.
Instead of just saying, hey, this is not really working out, we can transfer. I mean, because some people stick around for a long time and be together for a long time. Some people don't. You know what I mean? It's okay. You can outgrow each other, you can move on. But if you're going to be a business, A&R, or just in the music business itself, whether you're an artist, producer, manager, label, you have to understand the business. It's 80% of music.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a high percentage, and it should be 100%.
Right.
At the end of the day, and just have another bracket for the talent. You know what I mean? I mean, but at the end of the day, you don't care about the talent. I mean, they should just say it. We do care because you're making us money.
Yeah.
I have to care. I have to make sure you keep making us money. But I'm the artist. I'm making the lowest percentage of the money. I'm making the lowest percentage of the money. Artists have to accept that.
Yeah.
They don't really have to accept it. Let me take that back. Artists have to understand you are the lowest percentage when you first walk in. But if you understand the business, you're going to be the highest percentage.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to go far. Because everybody's going to come to you. They're going to see your vision. They're going to offer you. They're going to skip that person representing you. You're going to be, you're going to be their own business. Why go to the label when I could go straight to you?
My type of party.
Yeah. Why can, like, if you're developing your own label, you're developing your own brand, and you realize you made all this money with the labels, and, you know, you made all this money with the labels.
Right.
The label made you all this brand. Right? You made money with, not even say they made you all this bread. You're starting to make them all this money.
Right.
Your popularity outgrew their money. Or like your influence is outgrowing what they can do for you.
Right.
It's like if you understand the business, it's time for you to move on. You and that person can still, at the end of the day, the money is meant to be shared. If you ever looked at any form or part of this business, everybody's just sharing money.
Right.
You're really sharing a percentage of everything you do. You release the music, you're sharing it with somebody else, money-wise. We collaborated to make music. I'm sharing a piece of what we collaborated on with you. Now I add another entity and he's putting it and get a sponsorship with Apple Music or something like that. We're all sharing the money. Apple gives you the money, you're sharing it with other people. But there's always that one person or that one group that wants to take all your money, and so you so they can be at the top, and so it becomes the eye. So it's like that's again that business side is very important. You can never go like, and you have to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're doing. But as I said, as A&R first, I gotta know what I'm doing. You can't be talking into like business meetings. You can't be sitting with other people. You can't be sitting at the table and don't know what you're doing.
Facts.
They're gonna get rid of you
Quickly.
They be like, yo, I'll tell you a clown. Like, you don't know what he's doing. You heard this? They come to tell. I mean, I done see that. I done seen people come every time. They be like, yo, I know so and so. That's my man. Da, 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 da. It's like, what does that mean? You came to me wanting something. Because you know somebody else doesn't mean I should change the way I feel.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, but they expect that if you're a person that you know wanted you to be, we have a relationship. People that call me and be like, yo, Vic, man, you do me a favor. Like, I got this person that I know. Woo. I got no problem.
Yeah.
I got you. But you come to me telling me like, which was like you trying to sum me.
Yeah.
Come to my staff telling me you know somebody that I don't really talk to like that.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
I'm supposed to change because you said it?
Yeah.
It's like, no. It's still $125 an hour. That's how I always carried it. What is the studio stuff, you know what I mean? You know, you work with people, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you want to learn every step. You want to learn how music is made. You want to learn from a recording standpoint, engineering standpoint, producing standpoint, from a management standpoint. You just want to know every piece of it. You know? It takes you a long way. So it's like, if you're going to be an A&R, it's like, trust matters, knowing the business matter, taking it seriously always matter, and then it's like, remaining who you are is important. So don't get influenced by the people you're working with. I done seen a lot of people hang around different groups, like, if you're not from the projects and then you start hanging around an artist that's from the projects. Some real
project babies.
Yeah, and you start hanging around people that's from the projects and they influence how you feel. That ain't really you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start doing all this because you with the group. It's like, remain professional.
At all times.
At all times. Like, You ain't gotta be the guy smoking with them. You ain't gotta be the guy drinking with them for real, for real.
Yeah.
It don't make you less cool because you're not doing these foolish things. You know what I mean? It's like this what they enjoy doing, but it's not you.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta do it. So it's like be true to yourself. You know?
I love it. So my last question for you. Let me see where we are with time. All right.
Yeah.
So my last question for you would be, what is your why?
My why?
Why? And I always tell the guests, interpret it however you want. Take it in and answer it however you please.
I never knew it in the beginning. So that's the thing. When you love doing something, you don't know why you're doing it. Inside of you is just like, I just want to do it. So I never put a hand into the why. I just did. You know what I mean? The thing is, it was like, and it probably had to do with how I grew up. Never asked why. You know what I mean? If you know you're not supposed to do it, why ask why? You know what I mean? If you know you're supposed to do it, why ask why are you doing it? You know what I mean? So I never had that in me. Now, as you get older, you sit back and you be like, you have to know why you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you have family, you have children, it's like, why am I putting so much energy into something so much? So my why became now, I think once I analyze it is, I think I was really meant to help people in the music business. I think for all my experience in the music business and running into the people that I ran to that's in music and outside of music, just in artists, just in the artists, in the creative, like, what if they're creative, what if they're in politics, the people I ran across to, and it felt like it was God made that happen. That I was supposed to meet these people and either offer some type of advice, offer some type of help. And I think the overall of me has always been helping people. So I think my why is I love helping people.
I could talk some things about him on camera, but he is the reason why he played a part of my why too, and why I'm here doing what I do right now with the Downtime Series. A&R Vic.
Yeah, proud of you, yeah. Proud of you. Continue doing that.
I love it. But I just want to thank you for taking out the time. Fit me in, y'all. We in the middle of nowhere in Frederick.
Yeah. We out here, middle of a good spot.
Yes.
About to show her she don't know what she's missing out here.
Nothing.
There's some stuff out here I'm about to explore her too. And she's gonna get the wave of. She's gonna be out here a few times.
Yes.
Trust me.
So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Yes,
you are a great individual. And that is a...
All right.
All right.